just hadn't yet made the connection that it would be possible to build a business around a lifestyle that primarily gave me what I wanted from life.
So how does somebody go about choosing a business model based on their lifestyle goals?
Yeah, well, the thing that really opened my mind to this was Tim Ferriss's concept or take on, it's probably an existing concept, but his take on lifestyle design as a concept, as a mechanism or a model. And it was fascinating because I think it's difficult to put yourself back in the shoes of where you were before that revelation, right, that realization. But prior to that, I just hadn't yet made the connection that it would be possible to build a business around a lifestyle that primarily gave me what I wanted from life. Sounds like you're asking to have your cake and eat it, as they say. It's like it's almost too good to be true. You hear of these like city bankers that earn millions, but they hate their job and they have to work all hours of the night and they're so stressed that, it's like you get one or the other, or you get the people who are really happy and content, but they earn hardly any money. And I was like, there must be a way to have a lifestyle that you love, to be extremely fulfilled, but also to be able to earn a really good income from it. And it wasn't until I read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss that I realized, okay, so this is possible. He talks in there about having an e-commerce business using the dropshipping model and living in Argentina at the time and, going to Thailand. And I just thought, okay, so there are people doing this. And then I looked further into it and there's this whole like tribe of people called digital nomads who do this and work from anywhere in the world, all these amazing lifestyle destinations. And so I kind of started by going to these, there's a place in London called, it's like an arm of Google. I think it still exists. It's called Google Campus. And it's like a free co-working space funded by Google. And I think it's kind of set up like an incubator, like they're looking for little businesses and startups that they can give a place to work with, maybe with a view to investing one day and acquiring them. So I used to go to these pitch nights and it was called like Tech Tuesdays, I think was the name of it. And they used to get like pizzas and beers in at the Google campus and they would have entrepreneurs from startups come in and like pitch to the room. And so I'm sure there were like investors and venture capitalists and things like that in the room. So it was a bit like Dragon's Den, right? With these people coming in with these weird and wonderful ideas, usually tech related like software or apps or things like that, services. And it was really interesting because there were some people there who gave a great presentation, but when you really dug into the details, they had slaved away at that business for years. They were working at that free co-working space because they couldn't afford to work anywhere else, because they were losing money, or they just certainly weren't making any money. And they'd not earned a penny of profit. They were, 2 years into this, and they were just like a couple of friends really working full out on it, hoping that they would one day get acquired or get investment. And that was going to be like their golden ticket to riches. Now, great. If it happens and you suddenly get acquired for 100 million and you're, one of those unicorns, fantastic. But what do you think the chances are on a percentage basis? Because there are a lot of people hoping for that and not everyone's going to get acquired, right? And so I didn't want to take that risk. I didn't want to buy a lottery ticket. I had a mortgage to pay. I needed cash flow in the meantime. I was happy to sacrifice some of that upside of saying, okay, maybe I won't earn hundreds of millions of pounds here, but as long as I can earn a couple of £100,000, I can maintain the current lifestyle I have. It will take the pressure off myself, my family, and we can have a nice life. Maybe then one day I scale it. Maybe at that point I could create something cool that we could then sell, but it gives you options. And so, I wanted a business that could pay for myself and Becky to be able to move abroad, to live in Thailand with a nice low cost of living. And most importantly, I wanted to enjoy myself while I was there. I didn't want to be there, but chained to a desk all day. The people say, oh, I can just work remotely in my job. Like, yeah, but when you're there, are you really enjoying yourself? Or is there this dark cloud of guilt hanging over your head where you feel like, yes, I'm remote, but I know my manager's kind of watching, or I'm still on the clock, or like I've still got things I need to deliver. I wanted to answer to myself. And so that was the thing that I needed to get from the business. And so understanding what you want as a starting point is key. Is it financial freedom? Is it flexibility? Is it location freedom, location independence? Or is it something else?
Yeah, so it's like starting with the end in mind. Even if you're a complete beginner and you've never started a business before, even before you take your first step in a business, I think getting clear on what it is you want to achieve will end up helping you make the right decision when you choose which business to get started with. And it feels alien to think about 10, 20 years in the future when you haven't even started yet. But that's the best place to start often, I find, because then you can make the right decision from the start.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, choosing the business that fits the life you want is like choosing the right workout plan or workout regime that matches your fitness goals and your lifestyle habit. When I go to the gym in the morning, I just got back from the gym. I go there because I want to feel better physically, mentally, and I want to come back and have a good productive day. And I want to make sure that my body's working, I'm fit and healthy. I'm not training to be a power lifter. I'm not trying to win any bodybuilding competitions right now anyway, maybe one day. I'm not trying to compete for a triathlon at the moment. Those are all great things, and credit to the people that do those things. But for me at this stage on a Wednesday morning, when I go to the gym, I'm doing it because I want to feel amazing for the rest of that day. So I choose a plan that works according to that. If I wanted to train to be an Olympic level power lifter, it would be a totally different training. So it's the same thing. We're like, what's the end result you want? Do you want to be the unicorn? Do you want to exit for $100 million in 2 years' time? In which case, maybe you need to think very, very differently and know that your chances are very slim of making it to that point. But if you want to replace a very good income and be able to live and work from anywhere, the actions you take should be very different to achieve that. And it's a much more, I guess it's a more well-trodden path, right? There's a route to it, and you're not a 1 in a million if you make it. There's just a roadmap that you follow. So yeah, it's the same reason that I chose dropshipping as a business model. I'm building my business around the perfect lifestyle that I want, which for me, it's time with my family. It's time with my children now. It's the freedom to be able to get on a flight and explore the world with no repercussions, no need to require annual leave or explain to a boss why I'm doing it, and be able to travel and just earn money whilst I can from a laptop without sacrificing my upside earning potential as well. So I want to be able to make more than the level of full-time income I would have made had I stayed on my 9-to-5 trajectory. Do you see what I mean about having your cake and eating it? It sounds too good to be true. And people are like, you won't get both of those things. And I believed that too, until I came across the concept of lifestyle design and realized you can be incredibly ambitious and really enjoy your life at the same time, and do it all from a laptop with no restrictions, never have to hold stock, never need a physical premises, no expensive offices or huge staff bills or anything like that. It definitely is possible. So I think once I realized that, my eyes were open to it, and it just became so much more exciting.
So a pivotal moment when you first read about lifestyle design, and I was very similar, where I came across that in the 4-hour work week, and your first thought is that it's too good to be true. You don't have any exposure to this when you grow up through school or anything. You never really taught about how you can design your own lifestyle to how you want it to be. It's always just following the path, get a 9-to-5 job and, be happy with that. But I think it comes down to, you can either work for your dreams or you'll work for somebody else to help them achieve their dreams. And it feels almost arrogant to say when you first think about it, but you've got a choice whether you want to design your own life or you'll help to design others. So it's not arrogant when you think about it in that way. You've got a choice. You've got one life to live, and it's important that you live it in the way you want to live it. So if you're ready to start a business, and oftentimes people want to start a business because they want to improve their lives for themselves and for their families and for generations to come, then you've got to have a think about deeply, what is it you really want to achieve with the one life that you get, and how are you going to get there? I think from there, you can make amazing things happen, as you have done, Lewis, and I love speaking to you about it.